Hey, it is an unstoppable day. It's your boy, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge, coming to you with another episode of Gratitude, a 30-day video challenge on the Unstoppable Thoughts Show, where we are taking these 30 days and we are spreading an attitude of gratitude, not across your home, not across your city, state, or even your nation, but across the universe, getting rid of that negativity and filling you up with positivity. And hopefully, something you hear over these next 30 days will help you to focus more on what you're able to do and less on what's stopping you. As you've been watching us live or watching the replays, you know that we have been giving my gratitude story. But every now and then we bring on a special guest to share their gratitude story. Because I understand that my gratitude story may not resonate with everyone, but someone else's at gratitude story will resonate with someone. And this episode is no different. Today we have with us another one of my BBS family, my black belt speaker family, my black belt speaker brother. His name is Eric Wilson Sr., and he is a speaker and a marriage coach of hashtag Team Wilson. Welcome to the stage, Eric
Yes, sir.
Wilson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Terrence. Thank you very much, Mr. Unstoppable.
Yes, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee, and I live in Joliet, so I am loving this weather. We went from
I
the
know you
30s
are. Make
all.
sure 70 degrees versus 30 degrees any day of the week,
Yes,
right?
yes, 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 yes,
Man, make sure you
yes.
run down to Bill Street and get a couple of ribs on me, okay?
Amen. I will do that.
So you know what? Thank you so much for taking time out of you and Team Wilson's busy schedule to jump on and share your gratitude story. You know, we are here doing this 30-day video challenge, helping people focus more on what they're able to do and less on what's stopping them. And I know you for a fact, you've had a lot of things in your life along your journey that have tried to stop you, but yet
Yes,
you are still here. So I
yes.
want you to take a couple of moments and just answer the question that we ask all our special guests. What are you grateful for today, Eric?
Wow, that's a big question. And my answer to that is I'm grateful for God keeping me here. And the reason why I say that is because from me being raised in a single family home, no father in the midst, and I had to raise myself as a man, my mother doing the best job that she can, but there's always a missing link when there's no dad involved. So as a child, I was raised up the right way, the way I was supposed to go, but I had a lot of anger and hurt in my heart because I was missing something that a lot of children had. So that brought up a lot of hate and anger and frustration. And how I lashed out with it was I got deeper in hate because I saw other children being able to associate, play, do things with their father, and all I had was a figment of my imagination, not even knowing what my father looked like. So as I grew up and I started getting into God on a personal level, I started talking to God and not calling him God, but calling him Daddy because he's my Abba Father. He's the father of all fathers. So I would always go to him and Daddy would give me instructions on what to do. And naturally, he started to curve that hate to become love. And as I grew older, I started to work and become a workaholic because I didn't know how to deal with the feelings and the relationship issues I had. So I worked harder and harder and harder, not giving any opening to rest, relaxation, or even entertainment. At that point, I was a truck driver at 18. I would go on the road for months and months and months at a time, caring about, but caring about the company's freight more than I worked on myself. So from that, I almost died a couple times running off the road, sleeping while I was driving because I wasn't giving myself the right things that I needed to give myself. Leading up to
Wow.
now, about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I was forced out of the truck because I asked Daddy, I said, I don't want to drive a truck anymore. I want to get out of this truck. But because I wasn't specific and I didn't take care of myself, eating everything I could out of the truck stops, which was fried, dyed, and laid to the side, I received a I received a detached retina. From that, the Department of Transportation will not let me drive anymore. So one, God got me out the truck, and now He knew that all the years prior that when I got into financial situations, I always went back to the truck. So now he did what I asked him to do, but I wasn't specific. So he did what he thought and he knew was the best way to keep me out of that truck. So I'm grateful because as I was growing up, I've been in so many situations that could have taken me out, which was a fire on the south side of the Chicago, and I was the age of 21. And at that point, I was on a third story building, and it was in my apartment, and the apartment building held about, let's say, 30 families in it. Out of that fire, 8 people died, 46 others were very seriously hurt, which was, I was one of them. And I sat on a window ledge with fire walking towards me. And I fought with myself. Did you ever see that cartoon, Terrence, where you see the devil on one side and an
Yeah.
angel on the
An
other?
angel on the
I
other.
was
Yeah.
I was in I was in the middle of that, and I was warring right there on the window ledge and saying, "I'm not going to jump." But the other one is saying, "You have to jump. You got to stay here. You go." So it was a constant war in my life. But as I thought about it and the fire got closer and closer to my jacket started smoking, I only had a winter coat on, nothing else, because I was asleep. And at that point, I made a decision. I had to push off, and I had to take that leap of faith and push off the ledge, and I did. And not even 2 seconds later, I hit the ground, and I hit with such impact I didn't even feel it. And you know, my first question was, does anybody have a pair of pants? Because I was only in my underwear. So
Right.
I can laugh about it now, but I fractured my left leg and shattered my right ankle. And
Mm.
doctor said that I would never walk without a limp. But daddy came around again, and I can walk better, almost better than I did before. So
Wow.
it's 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 an unstoppable life that I have, and I'm going to tell people all over the world about it if daddy give me the opportunity to.
And it sounds like Daddy is already giving you the opportunity. We are hanging out with Eric Wilson, senior speaker and marriage coach, hashtag Team Wilson on Gratitude, a 30-day video challenge. And Eric
Yes.
is grateful for God keeping him here. And there's a couple of things
Yes.
you said that I just want to bring back home so that our audience really understands what your experience is all about. You started
Yes, sir.
off talking about being grateful for being here, even though you didn't know your biological father. And
Yes, sir.
I can definitely relate to that because I didn't know my biological father either. He passed away when I was just a baby. So the only thing I knew about him were the pictures that I saw of him and the stories I was told about him. And that alone could be enough to scar any man for life. That could be
Yes.
enough where some men have literally been taken out before they had the opportunity to become men because they didn't have a daddy in their lives to rear them in the way a man should go. So that's the
Amen.
first point. Being grateful to God for keeping you here, even though He didn't keep his your spiritual father with you, He
Yes.
was always there with you. And
Yes, he
that's something
was.
that many people should be grateful for today. Grateful that even though your physical person may be gone, the spiritual father still remains. So I wanted to definitely get that point out. The
Yes.
second thing is God kept you even in spite of yourself. He kept you. And just like a father will let you do things. He will let you find your way. He will let you figure things out, but he's always in the background. He's always
Yes.
around
Yes.
watching to watch me catch you when you fall. And
Yes.
in your
Yes.
case, it
Yes.
was falling from a burning house, from a burning fire.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
thing we have to recognize is that usually before we can take a leap of faith, we're usually running from something that we're afraid of or fearful of in the first place. We don't, you rarely do you see anybody running to jump off a cliff on purpose. There's a
Yes.
few, they'll take a dare. They'll be highly inebriated and full of vigor, and they'll do that. But most of the time, that leap of faith is because there's a fear of what you are already involved in. I
Yes.
remember having that leap of faith conversation with my daddy God in the middle of the night in 1:30 in the morning. I told him I needed you to give me a 180-degree change from my current situation. And you told me that if I talked to you, if I asked you, you would give me the desires of my
Yes.
heart. And I
That's right.
desired to be something different than what I was. And that
Yes.
moment in time, Eric, he gave me that one word that I speak about each and every day. And
Yes.
that's the word unstoppable. So,
Amen.
but it's only through gratitude for him being there and only for through gratitude for allowing him to use you and encourage you and give you the strength to take that leap of faith that you are able to sit here and tell us your gratitude story today. So
Amen.
tell us, what have you been able to accomplish since you took that proverbial leap of faith with Daddy God?
Wow. That's fast. Uh, I'm here because, and I've been able to obtain an ultimate idea that I never thought I would do. And that is start reaching men and start reaching young men that are out here in this world and have no idea where they're going. And the reason why I say that is because in my older years, younger years, I used to be a photographer. And there were very many outlets and clubs that I used to shoot pictures at. And one thing stands very, very prominent in my mind is that there was a gang of guys that usually stuck together and did whatever they wanted to do. And my question to them throughout the years was, why do you party much? And what do you do? And they say, we do this because sometimes we don't know if we're going to make it to tomorrow. So we do
Yeah.
everything we want to do here and now. And that really, really bothered me because there are young people out here right now that are yearning for someone to speak into their lives. And with that, they do the things that they do because they have faith. they will do things that are unspeakable. So it's up to the men out here, and men, we have to man up. These young
Yes.
men are doing the things that they are doing because we are not stepping up. We are not doing the fatherly thing that we're supposed to do. And just because they're not your children doesn't mean that they can't receive the teaching or the learning or the experience that you have.
Amen to
It's a
that.
it needs to
Absolutely.
be a change. It needs to be a change. And it's going to come from us, the men, because we have put too much strain on the women. We got to stand up, we got to straighten up, and we got to start trudging forward. So not only will our women come behind us and beside us and all around us, but the children will also. It's all about us. You want to talk about the home? The home is stressed out because the wife has too much pressure on her. The girlfriends have to go out and get a man's job just to survive out here. And all we want to do is go out, have a good time, do the things that we want to do. But there are some that are at home doing their responsibilities and taking care of the children and taking care of the family. And right now, that's not enough. The kid that you see walking around with his pants down, you don't have to go and try to make him do something. Just plant a seed in his head. Put a seed
Yes.
in his heart and tell him, "Hey, do you know the meaning of that? Just because you see a rap star doing it or a singer doing it doesn't mean that you have to do that. Your role model should be someone that you feel is conducive to you and not conducive to society."
I
So
love it.
it's just planting seeds. We don't have to worry about how it's going to end because that's where daddy comes in.
Yes.
Daddy takes that
Yes.
seed that you just planted, he's going to germinate it. One day, you may never see this individual again, but he'll say in the back of his head, "Oh, wait a minute. I need to buy me a belt." And he won't even know why. But it's that seed that you planted. And that's what
Absolutely.
we as men have to do. We were put in authority for a reason, and we have misused that authority up until now. And it has to be a change. Has to be. If we step up, the violence will stop. If we step up, marriages will start working. If we stay in the house, marriages will start working. So it, that's what I'm grateful for. That I have this in my heart, and now I want to present it to everybody that'll listen.
Well, I am grateful that God kept you here so that you could share that message. You know, I
Amen.
tell everybody that if you are here still, then there's a purpose to fulfill. If
That's
you
right.
are here still, there is a purpose to fulfill. And your
That's right.
purpose, I love how you just put it out there, and I love how you are continuing to use your voice and use your platform to be a father figure, especially
Yes.
since you were one without a father figure. So we
Amen.
appreciate you for that. Eric Wilson, Senior Speaker and Marriage Coach, hashtag Team Wilson. Thank you so much for sharing your gratitude story. Now, I want you to talk a little bit about this upcoming project that you have going coming up with your beautiful wife, Arlene Collins Wilson. It's going to be a Facebook broadcast called Insulating Your Relationships. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes. 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 I will be working with my yellow rose. Oh my goodness. She is a fabulous woman. She is a fabulous woman of God. And together, we know that people have a, I guess you can say, a visual look on life. So insulating your relationship is understanding that everybody has a different view of life.
Okay, so it looks like the devil is trying to get us, even though he is sharing some great information. We're going to give it a second to see if his Wi Fi comes back in. Eric, can you hear us? Mic check, mic check. Eric, can you hear us? Okay, he's trying to come back in, but looks like there's some problems with his sound. So he was talking about insulating his your relationships. It's going to be this great coming up show featuring him and his wife Arlene Collins Wilson. So you can go to each one of their Facebook pages, Arlene Collins Wilson or Eric Wilson Sr. on Facebook, and you can get more information and you can sign up with them so that they'll let you know when this show is about to air. You can also email Eric at Eric Wilson Speaks, Eric Wilson Senior Speaks at gmail.com. And you can connect with him and get more information about all the things that he is doing to help men walk in their purpose, to help men be the leaders, the servant leaders that we were created to be, and to help all fatherless men to have father figures in their life. So we want to thank Eric. Sorry that we lost him, but we definitely want to thank him for sharing that gratitude story about being grateful that God has kept him here. I'm sure many of you who are watching this live or watching the replay will be able to relate. God has kept you here despite the pandemic. God has kept you here despite the challenges in your life. God has kept you here despite your circumstances. God has kept you here for a reason. You are still here. And if you're here still, you have a purpose to fulfill. Let's see if we can get Eric back in for a final word. Mic check, mic check. Eric, can you hear us? Mic check, mic check. Eric, can you hear us? Okay. Looks like he can't hear us. So we're just gonna wrap it up right here. And we thank him. Again, you can reach out to him, Eric Wilson Sr. He's speaker, marriage coach. Eric, can you hear us? Mic check, mic check.
I can hear you now, sir.
All right. Devil tried to take you out, but God
I'm
still
still
has
here.
you here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We all
So,
witnessed
Eric,
that today.
we were talking about insulating your relationship. I put up how they could reach out to you on Facebook and your email. Just tell a little bit more about the upcoming show and when guys can expect to see you guys putting on this fabulous hour of power. I'm already calling it that between you and Arlene.
Well, right now we know that everyone is basically visual. So we put it as insulating your relationship because when you frame up a home, you can build that home, but that home will have all kind of leaks where air can get in, water can get in, wind can get in. But what we want to do is we want to take the framework of that home, place it in a family scenario, and then we want to explain to you and work with you on how to insulate that relationship. Now, give you an example. If you have an opportunity to converse with each other, now this is this can be very hard at first, but if you have an opportunity to talk with your mate and you ask questions on your mate, you ask yourself, okay, am I going to ask my mate a non-judgmental question, or am I going to judge her before she opens her mouth? The insulation is asking a non-judgmental question to the point where your mate gets to answer the question that you ask, and you take that question and you give it to her, and she gives you an answer, and that answer that she gives, you accept that answer and take it as gold. That's the insulation, because now you're building trust. that she can trust that she can tell you the truth and not have to fabricate something to keep you from arguing, fussing, and fighting with her.
I love it. So it's basically,
Insulation is the insulation is what keeps the fire
oh wow. So basically they're going to be giving you tools, tips, and tricks to insulate your relationship so that you can protect it from the storms of life. So we want to thank you, Eric. The internet connection is acting up, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to wrap up right here. Thank you again, my
okay.
brother, for coming on. We appreciate you. Love your gratitude story. Love what you and Arlene are doing. Again, reach out
Yes.
to Eric on Facebook at Eric Wilson Sr., or you can email him at Eric Wilson Sr. Speaks at
Yes.
gmail.com. Thank you so much, Eric. We
Yes.
appreciate you. Enjoy Tennessee, and we'll be talking to you real soon, okay?
Will do. Thank you very much, Terrence, for letting me have this opportunity.
All right. Don't disconnect. Hang out for a second, okay?
Will do.
All right. That is Eric Wilson Sr., and that's his gratitude moment. We thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on Gratitude, a 30-day video challenge. As we said, we're doing this all the way up to Thanksgiving. So you still have time. You know, I say in each and every video, you still have time to come on and share your gratitude story, but you ain't got a lot of time left. Here's what I need you to do. If you want to share your gratitude story, two ways. You can go ahead and put in the comments, I want to share my hashtag gratitude story. Put that in the comments. We'll reach out to you. We'll try to get you in the last couple of days of this challenge. But maybe you're not as a smooth operator like Eric Wilson Sr. is. Maybe you're not ready to put your face in the place, but you do want to share your story. Well, you can simply email us 1 to 2 paragraphs at tleffridge@unstoppablecoaching.com. Now, as always, I tell you, it doesn't matter how you do it or when you do it. It just matters that you do it. Here's the reason why. Your gratitude story may be the prescription to somebody's headache. Your gratitude story may be the impetus that allows somebody else to take a second and recognize their own gratitude story. And if we can get everybody talking more about what they're grateful for instead of complaining about what they don't have or they think they should have, then we will create a world of gratitude. And isn't that an unstoppable thought? All right, you guys, that's a wrap. Wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day. Go out and share your gratitude story and make it an unstoppable day. Take care.